Hi guys, someone asked me to do a video about cooking in jail, which surprised me because I'm not really much of a cook, but very very clever because quite often in prison back in Pentridge, the officers would go on strike, and when they went on strike, we'd be just locked in our cell for however long it took. So I had to work out a way to cook. Once I saw a guy the very first time I was in prison. He had a paperclip stretched out straight, and he had two pieces of it poked into a wall socket and a cup of water up on it, and he had a razor. That was his element, straight into the socket, straight into the wall. He'd made an element with two pieces of paperclip and a razor blade. Boiled his water. Some guys were lucky enough to have what they called a burko. The burko was like a kettle with an open top. It was like a pot. Yeah. But, some guys were very, very ingenious. But, yeah, cooking, that's what we used to cook. And mainly it was the same meal too. It was meagering noodles, eggs, tuna, and sometimes baked beans or spaghetti as well. And if there was any leftover dinner that you didn't eat at your dinner that you brought back to yourself, quite often that will go into. They're all in. But always meagering noodles, tuna and eggs. That's a staple. Anyone who's been to prison, and even yesterday, will tell you, meagering noodles would rather go tuna and eggs, make it gourmet. So, yeah, that's what we used to cook in our cell. Very limited, but, oh, man, there wasn't much else on offer. And quite often, if you were stuck in your cell for weeks, I think the first in 1994, I think, prison officers went on strike for way over 3-4 weeks. So we would get police came and let us out of our cells for a shower. But so we were cooking that sort of stuff, and they drop off a meal at your cell, but it was cold and shit, But if you could, you'd add it to your pot. But some guys didn't have a pot; they had to cook in their kettle. So they use the kettle to boil water, but there's an element in it. So if you fill it halfway and sort of simmer the water, it's more or less a pot. You just have to make sure you wash the element very good once you've used it. But yeah, the guy that used the paperclip into the wall socket. So the paperclip was two pieces of straight paperclip poked into the two holes of the wall socket, the two top holes, right? Don't worry about the bottom, that's the earth. So the two, and one guy put a razor, the one I saw, he had a razor blade joining them together, switch it on and hold his water board like that. Another guy I saw put a bit of steel wool in between, and it lit up and caught on fire, and he used it to light his smoke, like a wick or an element. Not an element, sorry, a wick. So, yeah, that's very, very ingenious. Some guys had burkos. I think I told you, yeah, burkos. And that was about the best of the best. Eventually, once Port Phillip and other prisons opened, guys had steamers and all sorts of stuff, but back in the old days, we just had the kettle. If you were lucky and you had a burko, you were winning. You were really living large. But also, if you had a burko, you were a target for, people run in to give you the business and take your burko. So anyway, that's what we used to cook in jail. Quite often the meals were quite shit. Every morning the porridge was hard as a rock. I never, ever ate the shit. I think I ate it. I used to like it at my grandparents' place, so I ate it the first couple of times, and it was like fucking glue. Never again. They gave me a bowl every morning, and it just sat there, went hard. Sometimes my Sally would eat it, but generally, I'd rather wait half an hour, go out into the yard, and then boil up a thing of noodles, or if I had a couple of wheat bix or something. But yeah, to this day, I can't eat porridge. So anyway, there wasn't a great deal of food on offer in terms of variety. There wasn't what they gave you, and then what you could buy. There was also the diet meals. So you could tell the screws, I want to be on the diet meals because I'm getting fat. I need to be on the diet meals. And diet meals was always a quarter of chicken or a hind quarter of chicken steamed with a few veggies. The fellas would get it, pull all the chicken off the bone, throw it in with the veggies, and noodles, eggs, and tuna. Cook it all up and eat that. So that was a clever way to get some chicken into your, a bit more protein into your meals. But other than that, I mean, you just had to eat what they gave you, which was utter shit, It was very, very hard to, yeah, I remember one night I was waiting, it was a Sunday night, and I knew we had a quarter of chicken coming. It was a quarter of chicken, that's all it was, a roast chicken. But I had said to a guy in the unit, geez, I can't wait for tonight, chicken, roast chicken. He said, you're kidding, that's a fucking prison meal, and you're all excited about it. But yeah, well, I was looking forward to it. Anyway, there wasn't a great deal of cooking going on. So if you wanted a cooking video, that's about the best I got for you till now. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get to the point where they're babbling on shit. So that's that about the cooking. Burko, boil it on the straight out of the plug. Yeah, it'll fucking bang on your cell and screws the tear shut up. So you have to make sure you ate during the day. All right, guys. That's about it for my cooking video. But anyway, I'll speak to you again soon. And thanks again to the guys that subscribe. If I get to another few, then we're in business. So I'll appreciate anyone that watches this and anyone that does anything like touches the like button and stuff. Thanks, man. Camo out.